Grant Denyer now.
It's Grant Denyer.
The gold lady this year. Oh my God, it's Grant Denyer.
And our mum, Shezzy Denyer. She's really crazy. And
George,
affectionately known
as Large Sarge.
It's all true.
It's All True, the podcast with Grant and Shezzy Denyer.
and
George.
Yep. Welcome to a Quickie. The podcast is called It's All True, and we want to stay very true to the brand, to the title of the podcast. It's all true. It's very true that we didn't do any research for this Quickie, and we don't have a Quickie ready to go. Isn't that right, Shezzy?
That is right. Yep. So we're winging it here.
You know what? GD would, if he was here, just a bit of insight, he would hate this, that we don't have a topic to bring to the table, because he's the content guy. He's structure. He needs that. So I think we've just decided, you know what, GD's not here, so let's break the rules.
Yeah, that's so true. But he is also the professional. He likes to have topics, ironed out, or at least he likes to have topics presented to him. So,
Yeah.
I think that there could actually be a topic in his personality. How's that?
Oh, like, are we just going to be roasting GD today? Just all of the
Well, I can roast him
imperfections.
anyway. But what is it about somebody who has to have control of every situation? Like, I used to be like that.
A control freak. Yeah. Are you saying that you're not a fan of people who are control freaks, or
No, what's the psychology behind it? Because I used to be a real control freak where I could never, ever let anybody help on a work project, say, for instance. I had to be doing every single part of it. And I remember once my supervising producer said to me, you can't be everywhere and everything at the one time. You're going to have to relinquish some control.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that was terrifying to me. So what is that?
It could be a case of, I reckon it could be a case of you're scared of criticism, or you're scared of judgment, or being seen in a light that you don't want to be seen in. So you go, you know what? I'm going to take full responsibility for every component of this project or whatever it is I'm doing. So I know that at the end of the day, if there's one bit that could have been better, that's completely on me. Like, if this person over here isn't going to pull their weight there, don't worry, I'm going to do it. I'm going to put my finger in all those pies. I reckon that's what it is. So it's probably somebody who is very, just proud of their work.
I think also too, I was never very good at giving instruction, and I was hopeless at delegating. This is when I was younger. I've since had to work on these things. So somebody would want, a rundown of how to do my work, and for me to have to show them how to do it, I don't know, it's just easier for me to actually do it myself. Now, that is not going to work when I have kids who are learning to drive. And so I've tried very hard to be more patient in the way that I describe things and explain things.
Yeah.
But back when I was younger, if somebody else did it and they made a mistake, it would just infuriate me. So, I'm not a control freak.
But you feel like you've let go from that since then?
Yeah.
You're no longer a control freak.
Having kids pretty much squeezed that out of me. So you never have control when you have children. An absolute illusion. And I know that I've got a lot of girlfriends who have had kids, and they've been really good at their jobs and they're career women, and then they have a baby and it just scares the absolute shit out of them because all of a sudden they don't have control. Now, I have 3 kids, and that feels like 13 kids most of the time. And I act like I have control of them, but they have total control.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's just the way of life. As life goes on, you change. You go from a control freak into somebody who's not a control freak. Maybe you've passed on your control freakness to GD.
No, he was always he's we just have different different ideas of control. So there's
Yes.
some things that
Okay.
he is very relaxed about.
Mhm.
Unpacking his bag or cleaning or basically anything around the house. He's very relaxed about that. But when it comes to
Yeah. Right.
content, it has to be of a certain standard. So and that's certainly seen him get to where he is. But what about you, George? Are
Yes.
you a control freak?
Yeah, I'm a massive control freak. Like when it comes to, I was talking to a journalist about this the other day that I love being able to jump into the studio and do my workday shift 9 till midday on the radio because every single second of those 3 hours I have complete control of. I can control the way a listener comes across on the air. I can control the way a song starts. I can control the energy, the vibe, the whole lot, everything in those 3 hours I'm responsible for, I create. But the second you put me out onto location, you've got somebody, paneling for me and pressing all the buttons, I just get so I think antsy. Like I just go, oh, I wouldn't have done it that way. Obviously, you stay professional and you make it a nice experience for both parties. But a bit in me goes, oh gosh, I wish I was just in the studio pressing buttons. I would have done it so much better. So I think I am a control freak when it comes to my work because I'm proud of what I do and I want what I put out to sound good.
Mm.
But in a life perspective, I wouldn't think I'm too controlling at all. I'm probably a bit like Grant when it comes to the housework. Very, very lazy. Not very good at putting the bins out. Not very good at doing the dishes, the laundry. But I'm getting better. I'm getting better at it.
Is Carly a control freak around the house or is she relaxed?
Oh, I wouldn't say she's a control freak. I'd just say that she likes to have lots of order in the day, and there's
Mm.
definitely processes. There is a schedule, and yeah, like when it comes to the budgeting, she's just incredible at that. And when it comes to an itinerary for a holiday, she's all over that. Like it's incredible how organized she is, and I'm just on the completely opposite scale to that. I just make sure I try to follow that itinerary.
She sounds to me like she could be a good producer.
I've said that to her. I think she'd be an incredible producer. There's been producer jobs that have popped up. And I've gone, you know what? You should definitely give that a go because there's a lot of times when it comes to my radio show or even this podcast, she's come up with some very good content ideas and I have used them. I'll be sure to credit her next time I do use them. I think there's a definite producer in the making. Is there an opening on this podcast?
Possibly, but
We could use it
probably
with a
more for a
producer.
host. Yeah, a proper producer.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
uh,
right.
so why didn't Carly come up with a topic for today?
Look, I reckon if I was to ask her, she would have had something right off the top of her heads. But I think us content brained and busy people are just sort of at that point at the end of the year where we're like, oh my God, I'm drained. I've got nothing left in the tank. What on earth are we going to talk about? But can we talk about just GD not being here? It leaves a massive hole on this podcast, I must say.
It does because I realize that I have this. I speak every third word, and he normally finishes my sentences. So if anyone's feeling it, it's always me because I have to actually finish my sentences. And I listened to the last podcast that we did on our own, and I said 47,000 times. So that's my brain catching up with my
It's
mouth.
so tricky too.
Is missed.
Because we are in two different states. We have made sure we have the strongest internet connection possible. We have made sure we have got the highest of microphones, the highest of roadcaster desks, like the highest of everything. And there's still a bloody delay. There's still latency. There's still issues. Just if you are a podcast god, listening right now and you can actually make it sound like Shezzy and I are right next to each other, please do it. We've gone to all lengths and we just can't find anything. This is a really desperate cry right now.
I think it's actually the NBN that is the issue. So maybe we need to talk to Kevin Rudd because I do believe that the
Rudster
NBN is his baby.
All right. Do we have Kevin's number? Do we have some way of reaching out to the big fella? Because I'd really love to have a few words to him.
Let's ring him right now.
Do you actually have his number?
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Actually, hang on. I want to try something. No, that's fine. I fully believed it for a second. I have got a number in this phone that says Anthony Albanese.
Oh, what?
Should I just? I mean, I doubt I don't think he'll pick up, and I'm not sure if it's even his phone. But should we just give it a buzz to see if it works?
Classic.
I don't know if this will work.
I actually can't hear it.
Yeah. It's just continuously calling.
Hold it up to the microphone.
Well, maybe next podcast we might have Anthony Albanese picking up the call.
Telling us about the future plan for the NBN. Look, that's the Quickie. Next week or next time, we will have definitely a great topic for you that Carly came up with. Hooray for Carly.
Yes.
Hooray for women everywhere.
Be true, legends.
True. Woo!
It's All True, the podcast with Grant and Shezzy Denya.
Bye bye.